오케이.
Can This Love Be Translated? The newest Netflix K-drama. Probably the biggest K-drama right now. It also opened to very mixed reviews, particularly criticism for its storyline and pacing, its cliche and predictable plot, and the unexpected twist midway. A twist that I myself would argue destroyed the story and led to messy writing afterwards. However, even though the story lost me, I still fell in love with this drama for reasons that I think made a lot of people fall in love with it. And it was still quite successful. So, with its success but messy storyline, I want to cover the reasons on how this drama made it work. But first, let's get a recap and an explanation of that rather interesting plot twist. The story revolves around Cha Moo-hee, an unknown actress, and Jo Ho-jin, an interpreter. They first meet abroad in Japan. Moo-hee enlists Ho-jin to translate personal matters for her, and they become acquainted. A couple months later, Moo-hee takes a role in a movie, playing the character Dorami, and she blows up, propelling her to become a top celebrity worldwide. And then she gets casted into a romantic travel show where she travels with Japanese actor Hiro, and by chance, Ho-jin becomes the interpreter, responsible for translating between Moo-hee and Hiro. As the show goes on, we find out that Moo-hee has some past trauma, resulting in insecurities and a belief that no one can truly love her, and they take the form of hallucinations about Dorami. We come to see Dorami as this negative voice in her head, but that quickly turns around when midway through the show, Dorami becomes real and kinda takes over Moo-hee's body, becoming like a second personality, and that's the twist. If you're asking me if this is an introduction to Moo-hee having dissociative personality disorder, or if this was a way for the drama to take a more mental health route, not really. Because the drama never gives us a good and proper explanation of it. So instead of explaining this really important thing that happened to Moo-hee, it gets used as a plot device to bring Moo-hee and Ho-jin closer, becoming the translator between them, which also does not really make sense because Dorami has always been portrayed as Moo-hee's own hater. Again, I think that this is when the story truly lost itself. I really thought that after this they would take a more mental health approach, which personally I think would have been really nice, but instead the creators and all the characters in the show accepted that this personality switch thing was normal and that all she had to do to get rid of it was to be happy. With this interesting storyline, let's get into why the drama still made us fall in love with it, starting with its two main leads. Why do we fall in love with them? Let's start with the female lead, Cha Moo-hee. What makes her so charming is that she's so unashamed and so honest, especially when it comes to her crushes, that it leads to relatable moments that also make us respect her. So Moo-hee starts crushing on Ho-jin ever since their first meeting. Upon meeting him again and finding out that he has an unrequited love, she decides to start snooping Instagram to find out who that person is, and she enlists her manager to help her. Unfortunately for her, while calling Ho-jin, her manager loudly proclaims that he has found the person, leading to her being exposed.
신지섭 PD 알죠 신지섭 PD
Lol. I think we have all partook in Insta stalking at one not very proud or maybe very proud moment of our lives, and getting caught would have probably made you wish that the earth would swallow you up. And so instantly we feel that much closer to her character, but it is what she does next that really make us love her. While still embarrassed, she goes over to Ho-jin's house to apologize, and while doing that, she is still super honest about her intentions and curiosity telling him that she can't guarantee that she will stop snooping around.
내가 절대 그 여자 인스타를 들여다보지 않을 거라는 장담은 할 수가 없네요. 왜? 정말 저렴한 호기심이지만 궁금하니까.
Her honesty and unabashedness become really refreshing, and she's also so quick to apologize whenever she does something wrong, making her someone we want to root for. Including this, she truly is such a positive and kind person. Starting the romantic travel show, her co-star Hiro is not particularly thrilled to be working alongside her, and he begins to secretly make the shoots difficult, like making her run around on the first day of shooting and toying with her. She's first oblivious to all of this, but once she finds out Hiro's true feelings towards her, instead of harboring any ill will, she decides to show him kindness. She doesn't deserve anything less, and she doesn't because Hojin is the definition of a kind soul. Muhi makes her crush pretty obvious, and at first Hojin doesn't reciprocate and even rejects her, but it doesn't stop him from still supporting her.
사귀자고는 안 해도 응원을 해도 됩니까?
And caring for her afterwards, like helping her see a doctor when she was struggling, constantly asking about her well-being, and constantly being on her side. Like when Hiro had his issues with Muhi, he always helped her, like shielding her from the mean words that Hiro said to her by not translating. And when Muhi found out Hiro's dislike of her, he told her that he will translate anything she wants to say to him.
내가 막 욕해도 욕은 통역 안 해준다면서.
욕하고 싶으면 해요. 이번엔 해줄게요.
You could say he's like the perfect guy. Maybe my standards are low, but with toxic men still being shown in drama and romance these days, it is always good to see a truly kind, perfect boyfriend material male lead. So with them two as leads, there is no question on why we fall in love with them and why we root for them as a couple. And lucky for us, their love develops over beautiful locations and shots. Another reason for the drama's praise. They certainly chose beautiful locations on purpose, and they certainly don't hide them. They actually make it a thing to emphasize them as much as they can, capturing them beautifully with attention to shot composition, like symmetrical framing, using depths to make spaces look real, using lines and different shapes to draw our attention, and using a lot of negative space in these locations to create an almost calming effect. All this attention to framing result in a very visually compelling drama. It's like a visual feast, and we can't help but watch. However, the purpose of these locations and traveling in general isn't just because they wanted a visually beautiful drama. I mean, that was definitely part of it, but in this case, it also serves a purpose in the story, making a more captivating show. Travel is a big part, but it also comes to represent their relationship. Beautiful, but impermanent. The whole thing about the show and their relationship is that they're always lost in translation with each other. They always miss each other and are always not on the same page. It starts with Muhi having a crush on Hojin and always shooting her shot and getting rejected. Then, when Hojin finally realizes his feelings for her, Muhi's insecurities take over and she basically rejects him. After this, she realizes her mistake and tries to shoot her shot again, but Hojin is hesitant. It takes a while for them to finally get together as Muhi resolves her insecurities and Hojin finally comes to understand her and her actions more. With its beautiful locations and shots, the drama also uses visual patterns, adding that extra detail to reinforce the story and the central relationship. Motifs in films are a recurring concrete element, such as a symbol, sound, line of dialogue, object, or color that represents a larger abstract theme. What better way to represent the beginning of the relationship than trains? Scenes are always accompanied by trains when there are missed opportunities, an obstacle, or rejection. The other two big motifs used in this drama to represent the relationship are the northern lights, lights that appear and disappear and only exist in certain places, and four-leaf clovers, a symbol that represents uncertainty and luck of finding it. We love patterns because they give things meaning and just add that extra detail and depth to the story. They all, in one way or another, tell us more about the relationship between the leads and also give it a deeper meaning. Even though they all come to represent the impermanence of their relationship, they also come to represent the hope. The northern lights were only seen by them in Canada. However, it becomes something for them as they saw it together, making it a thing that they will always see northern lights when they are with each other, like a sign of love. And Hojin also uses that metaphor to finally confess to Muhi.
나 오로라가 보여요. 사실 꽤 예전부터. 이거 고백인데.
Four-leaf clovers also come to represent their luck once they find 7 of them. The first time they found all of them, they got to see the northern lights. And the second time they found all of them, they finally got together. All these locations and the meanings attached to them create a very beautiful and visually impactful story. A storyline is very important, might be even the most important in a story or a film. But sometimes when the other elements are done really well, those elements can overshadow the actual story. So do I mind that the story got all messy and weird? Yes, because this could have been such a top drama. But I do have to say that this is one of the most visually stunning dramas I've ever seen, with, personally, I think, very well written characters. And so you'll definitely see me rewatch it. If you've watched this drama, please let me know what you thought. I'm really curious because, again, opinions seem to be very divided. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.